maybe let Coach make a opening statement, and then questions for Chris so he can go get cleaned up, and then questions for Coach follow.
Well, obviously, I thought we competed really hard. I felt like the game was kind of won in the paint. Felt like the plays were happening just right underneath the basket a lot, where Trey Morning and those guys were just kind of wedging in, and we were having trouble coming up with some rebounds. And just felt like all of those either led to a basket or a foul. And, that's obviously a difference in size between them and us a little bit, and then a little bit had to do with paying so much attention to Govan that the next guy likely is capable and is going to be able to make some plays as well, and he obviously had a terrific game. But I thought our guys fought hard, and we've been turning teams over at a better rate. Our press has been able to create some turnovers. We're a pretty good team in transition, and they did a really good job taking care of the ball. We just, maybe it's the length, but we didn't get our fingertips on enough balls today, and so usually deflections and stuff like that lead to steals, and we get out and go. Not quite enough of that for us, and how we've been playing this year. But I thought our guys played hard, and I thought Chris had a terrific game, and nothing surprises me with him. So.
Clemons, did you get slightly injured or shaken up on that fall?
For the moment, yeah, a little bit. I was all right.
Chris, it seemed like when you guys cut the lead and they were able to respond. How difficult is that, like, mentally, when you're cutting into the lead, but then they score a couple of baskets?
You expect a team like this to score a couple baskets. We expect them to make free throws. We put ourselves in a tough situation tonight. Having to fight back in the end of the game. But we made a lot of plays down the stretch that normally would win you the game. In a situation like that, but. Credit to them, they made a lot of free throws down the stretch.
How do you balance being offensively aggressive, having the green light, but still staying within the structure of the Princeton offense? As a player, how do you approach that?
Well, Coach lets me be a little bit free. We kind of run the Princeton offense for like a few seconds and then, kind of break it off. But, it's a coaching thing. He lets me play the way I want to play. And I'm just trying to be aggressive out there, every night, and also get my teammates involved at the same time.
How long did it take you to get comfortable with that?
Not very long. Freshman year, I started doing this, so nothing's changed.
His coach had told me yesterday that you look up to Allen Iverson growing up.
Yeah, that's my favorite player. Yeah.
You're doing it, in DC where he did it, and big stage today. How cool is that in perspective? I know it wasn't a result, but when you think about that, kind of coming full circle.
It's a very special thing, to even have the opportunity to play here, and I'm really excited to have the opportunity and to be able to play the way I did. Walking into the gym, for warm-ups, one of the first people I saw was John Thompson, sitting over there. So I thought that was just amazing for him to, be in the gym, in the building, while we're playing. So. I hope I gave him a little bit of a show.
What did Georgetown do well today in your mind?
They rebounded well. They're tall. We expect them to rebound well. We didn't do a great job on the glass, and they did a great job on the glass. So, maybe we did a little better on the glass. We would have had a different outcome tonight.
Multiple guys tried to defend you, including James Akinjo, their rookie point guard. What's your opinion of him?
He's a great player, quick guy, actually a really great defender. I was, still trying to be aggressive, while he's on me, but, he made it difficult for me tonight. But, he's going to be a really good player, when he's here.
One more for Chris, and then let him go. Anything? Any coaches any questions for Coach?
Coach, similar to the question I asked Chris, from a coaching perspective, how do you get guys to buy into your Princeton stuff but also remain offensively aggressive and not take bad shots?
That's a little bit of a loaded question, but I'll answer it. We were top 50 the last 2 years in transition. So your take on Princeton offense might not be what Pete Carrill's Princeton offense was, right? It's a little bit different. We play super aggressive. We practice and emphasize sharing the ball and playing aggressive in transition all the time. And then we have sets like everybody else does, right? They have a bunch of sets that they run to get Govin the ball. We get a bunch of sets that we run to put our guys in good spots. I got a really good playmaking center in Andrew Udy that is a great passer. And then we also do, like Chris said, have him, we trust him. And, he said his freshman year, and I'll say it was before that because we went on a trip to Europe before his freshman year, and he went and scored like 20, 25 points, in each game. And, you just know he had it. He's got a different quality about him. And so I think he's done a good job of trying to figure out how to have structure and also be creative and aggressive. And we've tried to complement that and supplement that for him. And when we're at our best, quite honestly, the ball's moving great, and he still can do a lot of this stuff he did tonight. But it might just look a little different in that he picks up 12 points from the foul line late, when they're chasing and all that kind of stuff. And that's just how we've evolved over time.
Gotcha.
During the period where you make the comeback, I think the lead had gotten up to about 20 or so, and you got it down to 6. What changed? What enabled you guys to cut the lead the way you did?
I think we tried to remain calm in the timeouts and talk to the guys about just chipping away and playing the next 4 minutes at a time and not overly worrying about the scoreboard, just because we were playing our game and staying aggressive as much as we could. And I think that they did a pretty good job. I think that this experience will serve us well somewhere down the line. I'm not sure where just yet, but we're going to be in a game where we're down 12 in the next 2 months and in the last 5 minutes, and we're going to be able to figure out how to come back because we've done it. We know that we can just keep playing, and we'll get good looks, and we'll stay aggressive. And obviously, when Chris makes shots, it's a lot easier. But our guys know how to play that way.
And you talked about Chris kind of came in with special qualities when he first got into the program. How was he off the ball when he first came into the program? Because he seems like he's extremely effective in an era where it seems like there's a lot of ball-dominant guards. He doesn't seem to have to be that way to get his points.
He was much more ball-dominant when he was younger, just used to having it in his hands. He made most of his shots off the dribble. And over time, pardon me, it's probably a little bit having seen everything in the kitchen sink been thrown at him. You know what I mean? He's seen doubles and triples and junk defense and all that kind of stuff, just figuring out a way. But he started to figure out how to play off the ball as well. And he's still, probably a little more on the side of better with the ball in his hands, but he also can do stuff off screens and movement and whatnot. And I think that's the challenge too, is everybody's throwing a lot at him, is making sure that he stays fresh enough to be able to still move when it matters, because I think at times you can say, well, take a break on the weak side while those other guys are doing a little work, and for us to be really good, he needs to keep moving even if he's not getting the shots.
Coach, you mentioned that the game was decided largely in the paint, or a large portion of it was. Their guy Mourning was able to do a lot of his damage kind of there under the basket. Is that just difficult to deal with him there because he is the second option after Govan and he has that length? What were you saying?
Yeah, I think we had spent so much time trying to figure out how we were going to keep Govan from kind of going off, and we got an opportunity to put that game plan into place a few times, but he didn't get nearly as many touches. Now maybe that was part because of what we were doing. But I think all the attention and trying to surround him and stuff like that allowed Trey to get free, and he's really he's a good player. It's like, I think when you're looking at the sum of the parts, and you have Govin, who's an all Big East player, and then the freshmen who are all three really talented. Not that he gets lost in the shuffle, but he doesn't require a lot of shots typically, because even today he got them mostly off rebounds. He got a few post moves, and then on the line. So you know, it's harder to prepare for a guy that doesn't, you know, they're not running plays for and things like that. And but he's a high IQ guy, and he really played well. When they announced his dad's name, I thought he went up like 7 notches. I think he had like 6 or 7 points, and then all of a sudden he went off. So, I mean, I'm sure he heard it. I know I did.
One more for Coach.
To return to the question about Chris with the ball in his hands, you run some really good high ball, flat ball screen action, some other stuff. How hard is it for you not to fall in love with that, considering he can get around anybody, or maybe even go 1-4 flat and tell him just to do it? How hard is it for you to manage yourself?
I think one of the things that we've done a really good job is truly finding that balance of you know, what's working in game and who we are, you know, on a daily. And you know, we track things like number of passes in the game.
Okay.
And I think those things as goals help us to keep reminding ourselves to play together. You know, there's games, and he's had them in his career. Today might have felt like one. I don't know exactly. I have to go back and look at the film, but where it's just like we're calling every play to try to get him in a mismatch or an advantage. I don't think that was today, but we've had games where it's been like that. You know, it probably looked like that a little bit from the outside because it was a lot of ball screen action to see what he could find. But you know, just always trying to find that balance because we got some other guys that can do some stuff, and we're at our best when they're all giving us something.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.